I was in MI5 just long enough to realise you can do good, or you can do well. Sooner or later, they make you choose.
Hello everyone, welcome to a sort of real-time episode. Well, I guess it's not really a proper episode because I'm a man down, but today I have for good reason, because today I'm going to be talking about Spooks, the Greater Good. Now, I was really excited about this film because I was, and still am, a huge fan of the BBC TV show that it's based off of. There's the proof right there. Well, I've only got 2 box sets out of about 10. I need to catch up on them a bit. But basically, just for anyone who might not know, the original TV series Spooks was pretty much just a story about MI5, and basically, I think it was pretty much in the wake of 9/11. It pretty much brought to the TV screens a depiction of global terrorism, international security threats, all that sort of thing. And honestly, especially for a British show, it was probably the best we could come up with. It was a really, really good programme. I mean, given shows now like Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, that have these major budgets behind them from the American market, the Beeb did a really good job given what they had to work with, because quite usually British TV shows don't have nearly as big a budget for that sort of thing. But the main thing that really gripped audiences about Spooks was just how it was really, really tense. And my phone has just gone off. Where was I? Yes, very tense. And it was kind of one of those shows that wasn't afraid to kill off main characters. And any fan of Spooks will know that there were characters that came, saw, got killed, left, got sacked from MI5, and normally killing was probably the most popular option on the show. Loads of really good characters got killed off during that show, and this started in 2001, 2002, I think it started. I mean, miles before shows like Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead kind of set that bar in terms of no character is safe sort of thing. But with Spooks, there was always one character who's been in it throughout. Harry Pearce, played by Peter Firth, who is just basically George Smiley with an iPhone. So, the film. Basically, the plot is the MI5 are transporting an American terrorist, Adam Qasim, to basically hand over to the CIA. And basically, on the way to the drop-off, some dudes on motorbikes come and they take Qasim. Well, they basically give MI5 an ultimatum. They can either hand him over or they just start shooting people left, right and centre. So Harry, having been the type of person to make tough decisions, makes the decision to let Qasim go. And basically this is MI5's biggest ever fail. The department's hanging on a knife edge, and they got very few friends left in government, and basically there's a suggestion that the CIA will just sort of take over their operations. So Harry reckons immediately that there was someone on the inside who was helping out with Qasim's escape, and basically he has to find someone outside of MI5 that he can trust, and enter Kit Harington as Will Holloway, who was basically an ex-MI5 agent who was decommissioned by Harry and has some sore feelings against Harry, which come to light in the film. I thought their relationship was really well done in terms of their past relationships, experiences with one another, because it appears as though, according to the film, that their relationship in MI5 takes place after the TV show ended. So, for audiences, it's, you know, you don't see any of it because the TV series ended back in 2011. but I thought it was very convincing that all this has gone on since the series ended. Kit Harington, Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, very good. I thought he was a very good addition to it, and it is very weird watching him not talking with his usual northern accent. It's good to see him talking just a standard London accent, which I thought was very bizarre but very good at the same time. And other new cast members, there are a few sort of pencil pushers sort of above Harry's rank. You had Tim McInerney as the Governor General, or basically just the major head of MI5. He plays it really well. Cuts a very condescending, imperious-looking boss quite well. Someone who talks down to Harry Pierce, which is quite a rarity. You also had, I can't remember their names, but there are a few other characters who, admittedly, they aren't really that memorable, but that's mainly because after 10 series of programming, and then in the film they introduce these 3 or 4 new characters, and you're not really going to remember them that much unless they kick off the TV series again and they have all these characters back. Yeah, in terms of the film, I thought it was really well done. Given the small budget it had, once again, it did a really good job. You got some fantastic shots of London in it, which was a very nice treat. Nearly every single shot has got either the Shard or the London Eye in the background, which I thought was a nice touch. So as for the action sequences, in typical Spooks fashion, it is done really well, especially what they had to work with. Really good car chases, lots of quite brutal action as well, which was good from a British point of view. The only little niggle, well, I wouldn't really say it's a niggle, but it only really came to light when I read a review on the film, and it's basically to do with the climax of the film. And basically, throughout the film, it's kind of built up to a really, really big attack on London, which was kind of the basis of the TV show. And the climax of the film, it's really good. The end sort of action sequence is really, really well done. But it takes place within MI5's offices. And this review kind of said, you know, due to their budget, that was kind of what they were limited to, that they could just sort of do something in a studio where, you know, they didn't really have the money to close off bits of London to shoot everything in. Basically, Kit Harington and Peter Firth, they just had to mingle with London crowds, and they just had to film it on hidden cameras. So I'd say, given the build-up that it had to a really big confrontation within the city of London, you know, if they had a bigger budget, they could have done something more spectacular. But take nothing away from it, the end is really, really tense, and that's pretty much all you want from a TV adaptation, is that it stays true to what the TV show was. Now, Spooks was famous for being tense. Phone. Now, one of the most important things when it comes to TV adaptations to film is how well it transfers from the small screen to the big screen. And it has to stay true to the source material. And I felt that Spooks the Greater Good did a really good job in basically making it feel like a 2-hour-long episode. It just felt like I was watching Spooks again. And but you could kind of suggest that when it was a TV show, it was kind of like a 1-hour film you saw weekly. It kind of just had that bigger than a TV show feel to it. So I thought, in terms of keeping true to what Spooks was, I think they did a really good job. Like the TV show, it wasn't afraid to kill off characters, and it didn't hold back in that regard. Also, from a stylistic point of view, I'd say it was directed really well. The shots of London are beautiful. The actual, just the cinematography, lighting, it just looked brilliant as a film itself. Oh, as well, they stay true to the TV show by having a neat little title sequence, which kind of felt like the original titles, but they probably couldn't use the same music, because that bit probably doesn't translate well to a film, and I thought that was good. And the bit I loved the most was that the film ended the same way every episode of it ended, and that was just a really good touch for me. So I'd say, in summing up, if you were a fan of the TV show, you've got to see this movie because you will absolutely love it. If you've never seen Spooks before, it's kind of difficult because the film kind of touches on things that happened in the TV series. But to be fair, it kind of sets up those themes quite early on. So I reckon if you haven't seen Spooks before, you probably would be able to watch it and follow it perfectly well. So I think from a point of view where you haven't seen Spooks, I think you will still enjoy it. I still highly recommend going to see it because for me it's very rare that you see a British film like this that's actually good. I mean, the last one probably like this was The Sweeney, and that was just... oh god, that was a dreadful film. So yeah, for Spooks the Greater Good, I would give a very nice 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Very nice. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this slightly sloppily put together review, but I felt, as a fan of Spooks, as you will be able to see in a film I made at university, which was basically a 10-minute send-up to Spooks. So if you want to have a look, I highly recommend going to have a little look-see at that. Very good. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys soon.